Okay, it is time. We are back on this channel on Lichta. It has been 14 years, we'll just round it, since October of 2011. I have decided to stop being lazy. I have decided that I am done trying to be a regular adult. Should have decided this 10 years ago. I don't know why I never came back until now, but we're going to start with Dark Deity 2. I really liked this game. I think it'll be easier to play, record. I think it's right there in the perfect niche that my channel won't get drowned out by other channels for people looking for a Dark Deity 2 playthrough, hopefully. I know anytime I was trying to find a playthrough, I couldn't really find much. There are a few, obviously, but I think this might be the right decision. Because unfortunately, the only other game I would want to play right now would be Expedition 33, for obvious reasons, because that game is phenomenal. Absolutely, it's top 5 games for me of all time. Definitely my favorite game in the last decade. Definitely my favorite game since the last time I recorded a video. Anyways, so we're going to start with Dark Deity 2. Obviously, this is a sequel to Dark Deity 1. You don't need to know the story from the first game, mostly because there isn't one, at least not a good one. It's well written and stuff, but it's kind of disjointed and a little rushed, but storytelling can be very difficult and hard, so I don't really fault them for that. But you don't need to play the first one to understand the second one. It's just more certain characters, you'll recognize them, and we can go over that as we approach those characters. So we are going to start a new game. We're going to play it on Demonic. Unfortunately, I hate turn limits, and I think like some chapters. See, I did originally this. Where is it? This one. My first playthrough was on Demonic, and I first had turn limits on, but or had them on to see how strict it was, and it was getting to the point where I was just not having fun. And I know, like, a lot of people like the tournaments on, because I don't want to take too long, but it's not like I'm going to take 20 turns. It's like literally some maps, if they just gave us 1-2 more turns, and I'm talking about like strict, there were some maps where, yeah, I was just dicking around, but some of them were a little too strict, so we're gonna do that. I like linear level ups, especially in Demonic, and I've been changed to this because of Engage, Maniac? Maddening? Whatever the hardest difficulty in Fire Emblem Engage was. Linear level ups are actually really nice. Because you know exactly what you're going to get, and you know exactly how to plan through it. Every playthrough, even if you get different classes, it's just way easier than, you know, one character could be really good, and then you play again, and then they get really crappy stats, and then you can't replicate your strategy, and you have to think it up again. And for a playthrough, especially one that hopefully isn't too long, kind of debating if I want to kind of skip story, we want to listen to them, but I mean, I'm going to talk over it. So
are you sure this is the right place?
Oh, let's
You're
put
the
that
one
on.
with the map.
Oh no, I had it off. It's automatically on, and I turned it off.
About this many stairs.
This is my
This is the only exit room
the mouse
around
doesn't
these
show up here.
parts. Besides, I recognize the stairway.
Like 3 of my favorite characters are already on screen.
I know.
You got Royden, Saxon, and Arthur. Love all of them. They're
These
great.
ruins aren't so ancient anyway.
They are amazing.
Can't be older than 100 years.
Yeesh.
Yeah, none of these
Let this place
characters
go in record time,
are
huh?
from the first game. Arthur, Royden, and Gwen here, Gwen being the main
Anything you
character,
can tell us about
are the
this place?
children of the main character from the first game, Irving.
Just that there's not that many
And
stairs
I will
left.
say one thing.
All right.
Gwen follows in her father's footsteps,
Other than that,
gameplay-wise.
Not much.
She's slightly better than
Before I
him,
marked
but
it wasn't even on the map.
she's not.
Well, somebody must have built
She's
it.
one of the more, in my opinion, one of the weaker
Unless they
characters.
did.
at least starting out.
Forgotten.
Forgotten? Why would somebody want that?
Uncomfortable secrets?
Powerful artifact.
So it's been 25 years, I believe, since the first game.
Come on, Reardon, don't scare the
And I'm
kid.
trying to figure out, I don't know if maybe in lore there's, or like on like Dark Deity 2's like website or whatever, where it shows their ages, but
That's
I don't know how old these characters are supposed to be.
Worry less, buddy. If my house was
Because I really like Arthur, but it's like, I don't know, I mean, is he of legal age?
100 years.
Speaking of,
Nothing is
looks like we
worse
found
than
the
being
body.
attracted to,
Level
being
ground.
attracted to a character and then you find out that that character is underage. Like, but they look like they're drawn of age. It's one of my pet peeves of
looking
anime.
impressed.
These two have let routine
Back when
rob them of their
when
senses.
Zatch Bell was an anime, I was really attracted to the main character. Couldn't tell you what his name was. 'Cause I thought he was like my age, you know, in high school, and then I found out he was supposed to be in middle school. It's like, what?
I can't even imagine.
I feel like I was
The
Shut
Order
up.
of Eternals.
The adventure of
Like,
a
this feels like
lifetime,
entrapment.
Twice weekly. When Dad lets us off the leash, that is.
Reardon?
Let him whine, Arthur. He's cranky today.
Quinky.
Cassandra,
Yes, Gwen?
Ugh.
watch by the stairway, all right?
I guess I mean,
Shouting, come
character-wise, I like the other three because they
Of course.
spoiler alert, take part in the story more. Cassandra's not early in the story after a certain beat,
Oh,
but
that makes sense.
what little we do get of Cassandra, I do
What
like
do you
her.
think, Arthur?
That
Shrine?
archetype.
Sacrificial altar.
No. Reliquary. Look there.
I've never heard of that word.
Artifact.
Magical?
I think so.
Yes. I mean, can't you feel it?
No, I can't. You can?
Right.
Uh-oh. You s-
Guess I should come clean.
What? Complain about what?
An adept, right?
You can tell?
So this is one thing that I think Dark Deity, they did it in the first game too, and they do it in this one, where adepts, which is what Saxon is,
Mystery to ponder once we're
are
out.
apparently
Let's bag this thing and get out of here.
He's
like a cursed
not mad.
All right, got it.
race,
We done here?
I guess, because it's not like
I wanna
the
see
color
what
of the
it is.
people,
Make sure
like it's not because they're black or anything.
Believe
It's just
anything that could threaten
like
the
they're
town.
magical in a sense. They just
Yeah,
attract
hear you.
magic.
Pick up all the
They can sense
shit.
magic and stuff.
Clear up any tripping
But they're
hazards.
apparently
Reardon.
persecuted, and a lot of people hate them because they bring calamity,
Hey, kid,
or so
can you
people
hold this
view
while
them
we
as.
talk?
But they never, besides just saying it, they never really explain it.
I told you to
Except for in the
worry
first game, there is a
less.
map
Stay put,
where
yeah?
you meet a person, Iris,
Will do.
who I think is Thor's character,
Wonder.
gameplay-wise,
What do you mean by
in that
why?
game. But she brings misfortune more than others. And then one map, you actually fight off against her misfortune, like people attacking you because of her. But other than that, they don't really show in story adepts being
Right. Arthur, any idea what
hated
these
and
things
why
are?
they're hated.
None.
Again, it's more of that
Trained to deal with bad news.
tell don't show, and it should be the other way
Over
around.
here. I spotted something and heard shouting.
Over
I
here.
don't know if I should have shouted too.
You're here, so you did perfect. All right, let's move.
Let's move.
Now's not the time to be playing hero, buddy.
Why not?
You may have an adept's power, but power requires skill.
Hey, whoa. Okay, this is the
Die. Got it?
what a weird face to make. It's so odd. Oh, where's my mouse going? Okay. So I think originally you get 8 turns. In doing this map, like this map, the next few maps, all the way, because I think it was like chapter 10 where I finally turned it off, because I think that one was like 10 turns. And it's just like, yes, you can do it in 10 turns, it's fine, but it was so strict to getting it done in 10 turns. And granted, maybe I could do it now because I was not using one of the more broken character classes. So, anyways, so we got the turn limit. Obviously, it's 99 because I had to put something. And trust me, you'll know they could have easily just put this at a turn limit of 20, like maximum of 20, maybe 25. And unless you're trying to grind experience, you're never, even going slow, getting all objectives in some of the future maps, you're never going to reach the turn limit again, unless you're deliberately just effing around. Like, there's just, and unlike the first game, you can't really use abilities as frequent, because that other game, each class had a certain thing they could do, and you could level grind off of that. You could level grind a good bit, and you know, on certain maps where you had to escape, it's pretty easy. Like I use it when I play the game. I use it like chapter 3 or let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in chapter 4, getting ready for chapter 5, getting all my characters to level 10 so they auto promote in the next chapter. This one's different. You don't auto promote. We can go over that. Anyways, so this is gameplay. We're not gonna listen to that. I'm not gonna listen to the tutorial. I'm just gonna go over each character. So I might be not aware of. There's gotta be a hotkey for it, so you can go into a class and see. Anyways, all I know is you gotta click them and then go into unit info, and I don't really like that. So we have the growths right here, obviously. Each person has their own, I think this is considered a passive, and this is ability, or this is a personal, and this is a passive. I'm not gonna lie, I don't recall which one's which. Anyways, but each one comes with their own. So with Gwen, she's a Vanguard, and there's only 5 classes, and each character we have right now represents one of the 5 classes. So we got Vanguards, which is what Gwen is. We'll just go over what Gwen. This ability, early on, is kind of good. You know, killing somebody, she'll get 20%, which is 5 block. And I think by the time she hits level 2 or 3, she'll have enough to immediately get 6 block. But light block, as it says, it just reduces damage. Well, I guess it's rounding it up for this one. But it's, you know, I kill somebody, I get 6 block. I'm gonna reduce 1 attack received by 6. So if I get attacked again, even by the same enemy, I won't have that reduction. Which again, this early on is phenomenal. Like, because you only, you know, the speed tier, all that stuff is not great. Isn't that high yet. In Demonic, it's gonna get there. But her Brutal Strike, on the other hand, this is one of the better, like, I would say probably in the top, we'll say top 10, maybe top 5. Better direct damage abilities, which is what a red icon indicates. This one's really good. This one is really nice. I mean, 40 mana, not all that great. Oh, speaking of 40 mana, so you start each map with 100 mana. After each turn, you gain 20 mana, so you basically gain 20% of your mana. Yeah, I mean, she's, I don't know, the one thing with her is I feel like she's meant to be the all-round character, kind of like her father was in the first game, but whatever. Next, we're gonna go to Royden. He's the Hunter class. His Weapon Expert is really good. It shows, you know, by 20%, so this +1 is already calculated into this 16. So it's not 16 + 1 to 17, it's 15 + 1 to show 16. So it's showing what its increased stats are, which is nice, but also kind of confusing. But I get why they're having this, so you know that it's increased for some reason. He also has a very good command or direct damage ability. 50 is pretty costly, but being able to reduce an enemy's defense, pretty invaluable. He is kind of defensive in nature. He has a lot of HP. He can be very tanky and has high might. He unfortunately has low speed. He has low dexterity, but if you keep him with bows, especially with his Weapon Expert, the first playthrough I had with him, never had any issues with his accuracy at all, especially with a certain weapon. I can't even remember what the weapon was. Next, let's go over Arthur. I would say the strongest character in the game, in my humble opinion. mostly because he has Celestial Affinity, so he gains 25% faster mana. So instead of 20 mana at the beginning of a turn, he gets 25, which does add up. He is a mastery. I mean, could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he has the highest mastery growth in the entire game, especially as one of his other another class. Everyone right now is in tier 1, but he's the summoner class, so he's the mages, like the typical mage in Fire Emblem. So he has this, which is great ability, and then he has Lunar Reeve, which is, I want to say, for direct damage ability, if it's not the first best one, it's probably the second best damage ability in the game, because it's 1 to 2 and you can increase the range, but this thing stacks. So it's starting out with 16 damage, but then it's going to increase by mana spent. So that's 4.5. So it's going to go immediately up to 20 damage on this first turn, and then to 20, and then to 25, because it's counting that decimal point. So in 2 turns, it's doing 25 damage, and then, so on and so forth. And then he's gaining 25, so after 2 turns, he can, like, if he has 0 mana, after 2 turns, he's able to use this, which is really good. And he's phenomenal. He was basically invaluable in my first run.
You sure?
Next, another powerful unit. Storm Affinity, I think it's nice. It's not the greatest. Like, early on, it's kind of good, but after a while, I kind of forgot that I even had it, because it's so insignificant later on in the game. Again, he is fairly defensive for a melee unit. He's the Adept, obviously. They start off as just fist, like brawler type class, and then it changes. It's the Adept class is the most different from the previous game, because the previous game they wielded lances, and there's no lance units. Call the Storm, again, it's up there. It's very invaluable. I would say, I think this is a little better than Gwyn's ability, because it can hit multiple enemies. So that's phenomenal. Great.
Alrighty.
I really wanted to. I don't want this first video just to be all this stuff. Okay, then we have Cassandra. She's the Shaman class. This is your healer unit. She's fairly good. These growth rates are a little, I want to say misleading, but in my opinion, she's not your damage dealer. Even though her Dark Penchant, where she gains 10 mana if an enemy is killed within 2 turns, or within 2 tiles of her, is good, and it keeps her mana, but there's a build that people like to use with one of her classes. I think it's not that viable, especially on Demonic. It is not that viable. A lot of people say it is. I disagree. There are way more viable builds to rely on than that build. I just don't think it's good. She has Healing Touch, just heals. So, having said all of that,
I'm there.
I am just going. So with direct damage abilities, if that first hit lands, the following hit will always land. So that wolf hit will always hit. And then, what the hell? Huh? That usually kills. No, just did anyways. Okay, how? I think it's move you here, getting that, and then we move you here. That does have 14. Here we go.
You sure?
Move you like this. Kills you. And what do I put her? Because I think this thing usually hits. So stupid. Oh, whatever. I don't know why they didn't kill. I would call it killing before. In this game, it shows if you double, which is really nice. Very helpful. Yeah, it's just gonna go and attack Royden. That's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Alkabalki. Yes. Yeah, these tree enemies. Ugh. These tree enemies suck. I don't like them. They are irritants. We're gonna move you here. Bop you. My goal early on is getting both
I'll protect you.
Arthur and Saxon leveled up as quick as I possibly can. I'll put you here. Can Gwen kill this guy? She cannot. We should be able to get this guy. It could have been dangerous, but she now has some block. He can't. Yep. And this will kill him.
Here, buddy.
Blah. A wolfie. So yeah, it was definitely a change, to say for sure, going from the first game to this game, because it's more sprite based as opposed to the first game. A lot of people that I've listened to were a little annoyed with that, and it did take me a getting used to.
Sounds.
Looks like this.
Oh no! Yeah, we're just avoid this stuff. One of the things you can't do in this game, characters don't have an inventory anymore, so you can't hold stuff. I think if he goes like this, lightnings, get a big chunk. She can go here.
Let me help.
Kill Arthur, get that one goal, then she can attack this thing. Hopefully she doesn't miss.
Rest easy now.
Hey! And then Arthur can come over here. Hopefully he doesn't miss. I don't want to keep using Lunar Reeve. Yeah. And then Saxon. Royden can just sit on his ass for today. Or for this turn. Bop. Yeah, the one thing, some of the animations for characters and stuff, some are good. Some I think are a little lackluster, especially compared to the first game. But he can't think. I don't think you can loot. So basically, okay, let me finish that thought. If you have a blue, which we don't have anybody with the blue skill, but these green skills, I know they have names. Oh, Kodak. Nope, not in here. Anyways,
Coming.
I may have overlooked it. I can look it up. Anyways, but there's green abilities, and then blue abilities, and then red abilities. The red ones are direct damage. I think they say the green ones are support and the blue ones are debuffs, but that's just not correct, because there's blue abilities that are support, which we'll get in the very next chapter, but I don't get what they're talking about. Who do I... Not that it matters. We're gonna use you. To weaken his defense. And in this game, you can put a stat under, like in negatives, and they actually count that. Yeah. Oh, and then with with Gwen here, you're not gonna see it yet, but her light blocking can stack. So you can go from 5 to 10. As long as she doesn't get hit, it just keeps stacking. Which again, it's good early on, but if she gets doubled, it doesn't matter what her light block is. She's gonna block the first hit, but then the second hit is gonna be full damage. So it's not as good as you would want. I want Saxon to get the kill. I want Saxon to get to level 5 first. Oh, it's not gonna work. No, that's just gonna kill. He doesn't have 60. Oh, fine. We got it!
I'm impressed.
And you use loot. Now we got an elixir of HP. That's gonna be dopey dope. We're gonna put. Come on, move on. I'm gonna put you here. We're gonna dot bop, you bop, heal. Wait, stop it. And then put you here. And I'm just gonna interface. We're just gonna end it. Yeah, now these tree enemies, ugh, they are physically defensive, but they attack magic. There's another version of them too. Yeah, Saxon's gonna take a lot of damage. He's gonna be hurting for a squirting. Okay, let's see. Her here, maybe, whatever. So he does 14 damage.
It's time.
Let's let loose.
Just move you guys up here. So he can weaken these guys.
We need to move.
What is this doing? Dealing 25? Yeah, no, let's do that. Let's
Be gone.
deal 25. That'll level you up.
The sky's the limit.
Get the might, HP, and mastery. The one thing that I don't get is HP. So we got +2 here. But if we go into Arthur, he just has a 70% growth. So I don't know. And then sometimes you can just get 1. I've also seen no HP level up, because I'm pretty positive I have. So I don't know how they're calculating the HP stat.
You sure?
It is a tad confusing. I'm just gonna zap. Which will level Saxon up,
Am I?
getting that HP and might. And these are all predetermined. You will always get that stat
I'll
up.
protect you.
Every level up, at least in this class. So he's probably, yeah, gonna attack Cassandra, which is fine. Oh, Cassandra, you missed. Still leveled up though.
Spirits favor me today.
HP 42. It's not the worst, I guess. And Gwen, okay, Gwen can reach. Let's give it to Gwen. Let's give it to Gwen. Hiya! That was such a weird animation. Just HP, might, dex, defense, mastery. This is a very good, important level up. It allows me to do something in the next chapter a little easier. So let's heal. It's Vates, and then, in case you're wondering, I mean, I kind of like, I didn't really, I pushed forward. We're doing this on turn 7, which is not that bad. Usually, I think I don't know where I got lucky. That opening felt wrong, but we did it in a turn shorter than I normally do. So, yeah, let's just seize.
Man, I'm really
So, I guess this first episode will just be this. And then maybe the next video will be the next 2 chapters. So it gives a overview. One shows the MVP, which granted I don't know what they determine based off of this. I wish they put, like, by default they put the MVP on top, but they put it so the people show up on this first default screen before you click any of these in the order that they join. But if you hit damage dealt, it'll show who it is. And again, I don't... Why was it Saxon? Because we have Arthur dealing the most damage. The person that took the most damage was Saxon, but Gwen was in more combat. Gwen got more kills. Nobody was defeated. The person that spent the most was Cassandra because of healing. She also healed the most, and the person that moved the most was Gwen. So Gwen got more of these, but why was Saxon the MVP? I don't know why he was classified as the MVP. I'm positive I saw Saxon as stated as the MVP. So I don't really get how they're calculating, because all he did was take the most damage. I mean, in some maps that can make you the MVP, not in this map. One of the one thing in the first game that was really irritating was I mostly played it with a mouse, as I'm doing with this game, and it did not allow you to hit the right button to click out of things. So yeah, this is my first cleared save. Don't let that 37 hours fool you. I, messed with things, reloaded saves, all that stuff. So this is not indicative of how fast I play games on my own. Maybe that'll be what it is on this playthrough. So these, I already have it saved over here, but this was same thing with this. I was trying out the randomization feature, and it's good and also bad. But we can come to that when we come to that.
You actually made it.
Not yet, we
Yay!
haven't. Come on,
Up
everyone.
the stairs!
Up the stairs.
The stairs.
The stairs!
How could I forget about the stairs?
Oh, right, it's so great.
That's what you're worried about?
Let's
Yeah,
go
of
up the
course.
stairs.
That would be the first thing. I go to the gym
You made it.
like every other day
So worried.
and do Stairmaster, and oh my god.
We
It's not as rude. The first time I did it, it was a little
Are you alright?
like it tricked me. I put it like first time doing Stairmaster, I put it immediately to speed of 8 or level 8.
Many stairs.
Yeah, and I started feeling some
but he's actually
some
right.
pain in my knees,
The stairs.
like in the muscle around the knee, or I guess on the leg or whatever. Whew. Had to drop that down to 3 afterwards. Couldn't walk for a good bit.
Almost would have preferred the cave.
But yeah, no, stairs. Ugh. Like if you were in a cave-in and you had to walk upstairs, that would be brutal. That would be horrific.
Business as usual, just
Especially if you don't take
What
stairs.
about you?
Like I can do stairs way easier now because of the Stairmaster.
It's a good race, you know? Like a
Like an
Like adrenaline. It's
See him,
adrenaline.
Alden. He was on fire down there. Damn near putting me to shame.
I mean, yeah, he was the MVP for some reason. And granted, he set up kills and went to level 2 second. So Alden here is from the first game. He was the prodigy child of the first game, and absolutely broken.
Quinn's one of our best
In
and
this
brightest.
game, he's a Jagan-ish character.
If she
A lot
says
of people
he did
kind of
good,
compare
then
him
he did
to
great.
Titania or Seth, and I don't think he's at that level. In my opinion, I think he's better. He's more usable. I never really like using Seth from Fire Emblem 8, and I never really like using Titania except for as a meat shield. Once I got more comfortable playing Fire Emblem games,
Did you ever doubt
I don't
us?
really like the Jagan characters. Like the first time I played Fire Emblem 7, what is that one? Blazing Sword?
And let's head back.
The one with Hector and stuff? Yeah, obviously I used Marcus. He was my favorite. He was like my go-to character because I sucked at the game. And now I'm better at the game, and I don't need those characters. And they're kind of boring. Because they're not usually as good, or they take forever to level up, and by the time you want to level them up, they're too weak?
Sheesh, Gwen, do you really gotta walk so fast?
You seem to be
Yeah,
keeping
why you
up
gotta
just
walk
fine.
fast?
Yeah, only because I'm going double time to catch up with you.
Or maybe you usually go halftime and you're just mad I'm making you work for it.
Yeah.
Ah, whatever. Never mind.
Reardon, I will.
I get the
This is a bit kind of boring. So, we could talk about Father. Why do we want to talk about Father?
Fun.
I'm not gonna lie. Irving in the first game was a kind of bland, forgettable character, in my opinion.
That's because
And he
he's
just,
no fun either.
you will get to that later, but he never really makes any decisions.
You don't think maybe you could
The
put
story
a
just kind of
little
happens. If you were to take Alden out of it, the story would still happen. Or Alden out of it, or Irving out of it.
You know me.
But yeah,
No
he's by default, I mean, he's the better parent to these people, as opposed to who's supposed to be the parent, or the mother, I should say, to them. Her name is Marin. Spoiler alert, I guess. She was one of the better characters in that game, in the first game, but they make her
Suits me fine.
a shit parent.
Peace and quiet.
Should I?
Arthur, Royden, and
Never mind
Gwen
me, you're fine.
have really shit parents. It's like Irving's the better of the parent, but he's still not a good
Talking about
parent.
you.
Me?
Yeah, he stuck around, but
Interesting.
I get to some degree why Marin left, but that doesn't mean that she had to leave her
Oh,
kids.
yes, that's true.
She left Irving, and I get that. 100% leave Irving. Like his little position that he's in, he's let go to his head in a sense, and let his family fall by the wayside. But that doesn't mean you abandon your kids.
It's more than coincidence that you stumbled on that place. You were looking for it, weren't
You were looking for it.
You guys
Were you
Yep.
drawn to it?
Nah.
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna skip this.
Guess I'm just looking for an.
Why not?
I don't really care about story and stuff. I mean, this story is great. This story is serviceable. Again, it's way better than the first one. It's a little bit more coherent, and
sounds cruel.
the beats make more sense. But at a certain point, it also feels like we're just on a track.
Just can't let an old prejudice die.
It's not a disjointed track,
Anyway,
but it is a
Doesn't
track
matter.
nonetheless.
Arthur, look. It's Reardon.
Something's happened.
Like nothing feels
Haven.
fluid,
Smoke on the horizon.
organic. If that makes sense.
what?
A simple blaze or
Oh
what?
no!
No yet.
What
Bandits!
do you mean?
Actually, it's not bandits, but it's still the same.
We knew it might come to this.
No, not Azrael. Whoever they are.
I have to go help.
I have to go out.
Hold on a second. Wait up.
Wait up!
Let's get after him.
But like any Fire Emblem type game, there's got to be the raid on a village.
Look at this. Everything is burning.
What's the situation?
I will say, some people are a little lackluster, but
There were forces
a
stationed
lot
nearby, so
of the voice
evacuation
acting
was
is
already
so good.
Evacuation?
Especially at the end of this chapter. It was my favorite,
I've been in enough
favorite
staff to know
character.
defeat when I see it.
at least to listen to. It's so good.
Half of one. We muck in, get the townsfolk to safety, and then
And then
bolt.
bolt.
No time to
No
get
time to get fancier
than
than
Are
that.
you sure that's
Yeah.
wise? We could end up trapped in the blaze.
My parents are in there. We have to do something.
The desperation and the voice is perfect.
Orders this time.
Sometimes you listen to the voice acting, they're like, my parents are in there.
Fight like hell, then run
It's like-
like hell.
Understood.
Why was that the take we went with? But no, him, and like you can feel the, like he wants to save his family.
You there, sellsword! Take your men to the north.
Even though we don't see his parents. They off screen are fine, but we never see them. And I think that's a little weird. It's like, show us his parents at least.
Be sure to mention my name.
You know, make them be dickish parents.
Now go.
Like he wants to save them, but they don't like him because he's an adept.
Paramount importance.
And the way I take adepts are,
We've got a whole lot of folks
I don't know if it's got to be comparative to something,
Time to get it done.
where it's like,
Never stopped us
oh,
from
it's reminding me of another story, or potentially, because it's not like if you're an adept, therefore your parents are adepts, or you come from that. It's almost like a weird curse, in a sense. Like I think that's what adepts are. I don't think they're like a race of characters. I think it's like a defect, almost like a mutant. Adepts are mutants in this world. I think.
Southern Riders think nobody should run Britannia.
I could be wrong.
For them both to be here is an exceptional.
Here's a point of the story that,
Uncle, you
I mean, we're
sound
gonna
like
find
you have
out.
more you want to say.
well, maybe we'll find
I
out.
do, but we
There's,
want
I guess, there's some branching paths in this game. It's kind of fun.
I'll hold you to that. Now let's get back to business.
Let's get back to business. All right. I think this one you have 13 turns to do it in. It's not too difficult. Again, I don't want to have that strict timeline because I didn't mention it coming up here. Because I'm about to in this video. Just want to get to this point. So you lose, obviously, with the turn limit. You also lose in Demonic if any single character dies. Absolutely anyone dies, that is a game over. I think from Deity lower, if Gwen dies, it's game over. So I think the way they should have done it is because in all difficulties, excluding Deity or Demonic, because it doesn't matter. So in the other 3 difficulties, if a character dies, they just have a debuff that lasts for the following chapter. Because in the first game, they would just lose a random stat, which could be kind of devastating in a certain degree. This one, they didn't want it to be as debilitating, I guess. But if somebody dies, they'll either start with less mana, or they'll start with a debuff like weak, vulnerable, poison. They'll start with something for that chapter, and then the next chapter they're fine. And I do like that aspect, so they're a little hindered, but not just for one chapter, so maybe you just don't use them as much. I think Demonic, it should have just straight up killed them. Where, yes, you're probably going to restart the chapter anyways because they died, but I think it shouldn't have been a force loss. It should have just been this character died, they're now dead. And if you lose Gwen, then it's game over. Maybe Royden and Arthur, it'd be game over. I don't know. So we got evacuate homes, use blue abilities, which is what Arthur has. Not Arthur, that's Arthur. That's Alden. We're gonna come in here. So we got this, it's an okay map. I'm gonna go here. We're gonna go to battle save. Overwrite the other battle save I had. Come back to this main screen, and we are going to wrap up this first video here. Part of me wanted to create like a welcome back or I'm back type video, which it probably should, but I don't know what I would do in it. So I think just having a random upload would be kind of interesting. I mean, I did make a post, so maybe people will see that. But if you have decided to watch this video, and you're excited about me coming back, then drop a like, share, all that stuff. I hope you have a great day, week, month, or year, depending on if you want to continue with this channel. I do have another channel that I started that kind of reignited me wanting to restart this channel called Et Gafgar, where I read Reddit stories. So I'll link that in the description. Hope you all have a great rest of your time. Toodles.